Hi, so I thought I'd do this video about people's perception of disability, any misconceptions people have. Obviously I can only talk about my own experiences. So with my condition, obviously it's not visible all the time. I do have my wheelchair, which is very clearly saying, yeah, I'm disabled. It's an electric wheelchair, can't really get out of that one. But obviously a lot of the time it isn't visible. And I look healthy and I look fine. And I think sometimes that can make it harder. I'm not saying it's easier to be permanently, full-time, visibly disabled, but I have had times where I've thought, oh, I wish people could see how I feel. So I just wanted to talk about a few of the times people have been ignorant towards my disability, and how that's affected me. And it might make someone watch it and think, oh, I might have done something like that without even realising, and, you know, change people's views. So I got onto a train and it was absolutely packed, and I've had to sort of say to people, can I sit down please, I need to. However, because I know that my disability is invisible, I don't want to point one person out, single them out and assume that they're able to, because then if they're not able to, I'm putting them in the same position. So I kind of just, if I have been in that situation, I just sort of speak to the whole carriage, which is embarrassing, to be fair. You know, luckily I'm a very confident person. I'm happy to speak loudly and say what I need, but I think if it's embarrassing for me, it must be even harder for people who don't have a voice or are too anxious to be able to say something. So I sort of just say, excuse me everyone, I've got a disability and I need to sit down, can someone let me sit down please? And people have always said, yeah, you know, take my seat, and I say thank you so much. And it's been awkward, but you know, I can't physically stand for a long time, so you gotta do what you gotta do. I got on a train once and it was ridiculously packed, like stupidly, like sardines in a can, but I still needed to sit down even if that meant pushing through people. So I was like, excuse me please, excuse me please, excuse me. And this bloke was like, are you stupid? I was like, what? And he was like, who do you think you are, trying to push past everyone? You can see that it's a busy train. If there were seats, there'd be people sat on them. Don't know why you're trying to push through. And I burst out crying, and it was horrible. I was in so much pain. My legs were killing. My body was exhausted. I was being sort of pushed past people and cramped up. And I just burst out crying because I thought, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, you don't know me, don't make assumptions. And I started panicking, and I don't know if it was a panic attack. I don't really know what it was. I just felt really, really panicky, couldn't breathe properly. I was just sobbing. I just needed to get to a seat really quickly. Luckily people saw me crying and panicking and got me sat down. And this bloke, the one who'd made me cry, started pushing past people, going, oh, let me help her, let me help her, I'm medically trained. And I was like, please just go away. Like, you're literally the one who's upset me like this. You know, all I wanted to do is sit down. It really isn't that big a deal. You don't need to have a go at someone for wanting to be comfortable. But because he couldn't see that, he just made the assumption, oh, she's fine. She's pushing through, she thinks she's better than everyone. And I'm just like, mate, I'm just in pain, I just want to sit down, you dickhead. But yeah, so that's not fun. Obviously I know that people can't see it, and I don't expect everyone to be psychic, but it's just having that little bit of respect for people. If someone just looks like they're struggling, if someone is trying to get to a seat, maybe think about why they are. On trains and buses there are seats which say they are priority seats for disabled people, or those less able to stand. And I completely understand that if a train is packed, you're just going to want to sit down wherever it is. But if that seat's taken, then that means that someone who does need it might either have to say, excuse me, can someone stand up for me, or they'll just struggle because they'll be too embarrassed. So I think if you can, maybe just try to keep them seats free, so that someone isn't struggling. And it is hard because I could look at someone and think, piss off out that seat, I want to sit there, but actually they could be in the same situation as me. So, you know, it's just finding the right balance. I've been in situations, my shoulder's hurting. Ow. I've been in situations where I have been, ow, sorry, my hip, hold on, I'm so sorry, bear with. I was thinking of editing that out, but actually that's my life, so I probably won't. Ow, my shoulder hurts. So sorry, you're just gonna have to deal with this. I might edit it out, but I might just keep it in because this is my life. So, oh, there we go. I've got the pillow in the right place now. I think I had my penguin pyjamas on in the last one. Yeah, that's comfy. Really hot. Like my Breaking Bad jumper, by the way. It's from Primark, men's section. So I've been in situations where I remember I was walking along once and I was absolutely knackered, like proper in pain. Every part of my body was hurting. I think I'd been to Coventry for the weekend, and I'd come back to Birmingham, and I was walking from the train station to my bus stop, and I was walking at a snail pace, like proper slow, the slowest possible what you can think of, because I was in pain. Obviously someone wouldn't choose to walk that slow, so I'm walking along crying, like, well, I think I was like tearful, not like crying, but I was thinking, for fuck's sake, I hate my body, I hate how much pain I have, why can't I just walk from one place to another without wanting to cry? I just want to get home. I feel like I'm gonna die. And as I was walking along feeling like shit, a woman who was walking behind me decided that that was the time to start having a go at me for being a slow walker, which isn't the best thing to do. I feel like there's better ways to get past a slow walker, maybe by walking past them. Honestly, there's such dickheads around. So I was walking along and this woman was just like, what the fuck are you doing? Who the fuck walks that slow? Get the fuck out my way. You taking the piss, look how slow you're walking. Move the fuck out my way. And like, I couldn't believe it. Like, what? All I'm doing is walking along in pain, nearly crying my eyes out. Like, why are you having a go at me? And she was saying this as she was walking past me, which shows that there was literally no point in it anyway, because she was very able to get past. And I just proper burst out crying. Like, I was so upset. I was in pain anyway. It was pissing down with rain, because England always is. And I just thought, fuck you. Like, who does that to someone? I don't understand the logic. Like, I don't know. I just think it's insane to speak to someone like that and be that angry about someone who's walking. I didn't say anything because I wouldn't risk having a go at someone who's having a go at me when they've clearly got some kind of anger problem. Because, you know, you don't know what people are like these days. I can't defend myself. If someone tried to punch me, I wouldn't just be on the floor and then get up and end up in hospital. I can't argue with people. You know, I've just got to let it go. But it was horrible. It was so upsetting. And I'm sure people watching this aren't the same and don't need telling to not be like that. But Jesus, if someone's walking slow, try not to get pissed off at them. And if you are pissed off at them, can you just be pissed off in your head? Because people really don't need to hear it. Like, no one needs to be told that your slow walking's pissing them off. Because believe it or not, their slow walking will be pissing themselves off more than it's pissing you off. Also, another time similar to that, while I'm having a little rant, which is basically all this video is. So I was once in a club, and I wanted to come out of the smoking area. I don't smoke, just in the smoking area, makes me cough. Anyway, I was coming out of the smoking area and going back into the club, and the way the club is laid out, when you walk through the double doors, you can just walk left there, and that's like where the dance floor and the room is and stuff. But when it gets busy, the bouncer makes you go up the stairs and all the way around just to get back into that room that you literally walk past. So I was just trying to reason with this bouncer. I was like, look, I've got a disability. Can you please just let me walk to that bit, walk through them doors, and then I can go and sit down like I need to? And he was like, what disability? And I was like, right. I was like, it's called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Not that I need to explain it to anyone, but I thought, fuck it. I'll say long words, might make it sound more plausible. Not that it's not, but you know, if I'm saying blah 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 syndrome, it's like, oh shit, it's real. She's not just saying she's got a broken leg. So this is what I've got, blah blah. He made me explain it all, and then was like, no, sorry. I was like, what? He was like, have you got some kind of card to prove it? What? Like a card that says I'm a cripple? What am I gonna have? And actually, I have actually got a medical alert bracelet now, but I didn't at the time. So yeah, I was like, I don't have any kind of card, but I can, I don't know, bend my thumb back for you, show you how shit my legs are, show you my floppy wrist. One time actually I did show someone my floppy wrist, and he was like, fuck it, go through, it's fine, I believe you. But yeah, this one was just like, no, I'm sorry love. And I was like, mate, the door's there, just please let me through, please. I just need to go and sit down because I'm really in pain. And he just wouldn't. So I was crying my eyes out, because I said to my friends, I'll meet you in that room, you go round the stairs way, and I'll get the bouncer to let me through the shortcut way, because common sense would say that he'd let me. No. Although there was a man in a wheelchair who obviously would have had to go that way, and he let him through, so obviously I know he'd have to because he couldn't go up the stairs, but it shows that you can go through that way, do you know what I mean? So where was I? Sorry, I'm rambling a lot. So yeah, I was going up these stairs in tears, like gripping on to the banister and going up each step, like 2 feet at a time on each step, because it was just so painful. And I know that drunk people are inconsiderate. I know people are inconsiderate anyway, and obviously drunk people are. But it's just have a bit of thought. This girl, she was just like, move out my way, like, you fucking in my way, like, you're such a slow walker, fuck off, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, here it goes again. And I was just like, sobbing. And I was like, I'm disabled. Of course I have to fucking walk slow. And I don't know if she managed to say anything back. She just sort of looked at me and walked off, like clearly didn't care. She wasn't like, oh shit, sorry. Really embarrassing though, because I got to the top of the stairs, like absolutely sobbing. And I was like, tears proper down my face, like a proper mess. Hold on, I got a notification. Yeah, proper mess, and people were like, what's wrong? And I was like, it's just some stupid bitch having a go at me for being disabled like I choose to be. And they were like, it's fine, ignore her. And I was like, okay. But it's just ignorant, and I know that when people have had a drink, they don't think. But just like, you don't have to have a go at people for being slow. Have a bit of patience, in the words of Gary Barlow, do you know what I mean? Just leave it. I know I'm a slow walker. That's why I have a wheelchair. I've also, I'm just speaking of clubs, I've had people say to me in the past, oh, you can't be that bad. I've seen photos of you at the weekend on Facebook out. And what's your point, love? Like, people have literally said to me like, oh, you looked alright then. Yeah. What, am I meant to like not be able to move ever? Do I have to just like lie in bed like? this is my life. I can't move. Like, come on. And when I do go out, my friends will tell you, the first thing I look for is a seating area. I'll get up and I'll dance to the songs I like, and then I'll sit down through the shit songs and save my energy for the really good songs, like S Club 7. Or if I'm having like a day where I'm in really bad pain, I'll just sit down and like, woo. That was my white girl dancing. I just sit there and dance, and my friends dance with me. It doesn't mean I have to be getting up and jumping around. Like that jump around song, I can't jump around, and that's fine. When Get Low comes on, I can't get low. I look around, everyone's getting low, and they're like, come on, and I'm like, I will literally dislocate it here. No. Actually, when I was at Pride last year, I was dancing to Low by Flow Rider, I think, and obviously I can't do the low bit, so I just stand there. I wasn't even doing anything extravagant, I was just having a little like dance, and then my hip popped out of place, and I was like, for fuck's sake. So that was fun. But yeah, we just sort of, my mate was like, shit, shall I get a St John's ambulance over there in rainbows? And I was like, no, it's fine, we've got this. Just sort of popped it back into place. Had a couple of shots, and on my way it went. But yeah, it's just about thinking outside the box. When you see things, don't assume that someone's fine because they look it. I've been in my wheelchair. So last week I went to Primark. My mum bought me a £30 gift card for Christmas, which I asked for because I fucking love Primark. And it was brilliant. I got a lovely skirt, which when I got to the till was £3, not £8 result. I got a jacket. I got loads of earrings, and I still had £4 to spare from the £30 gift card. Now that, if they're not bargains, then I don't know what is. But yeah, when I was at the till paying, I was, sorry, I got the hiccups. Paid for my skirt, my jacket, my Sassy earrings, and I looked, and this woman was like nudging her daughter and like pointed at me. And I was like, what are they looking at? Shit, have I got like something on my face? And she nudged her daughter, who was probably like 18, like she was at least 18, she was an adult. And her daughter just looked at me and went, oh, what are you doing? Like, I'm not a baby in a buggy, I'm a cripple in a wheelchair. You don't need to go, oh, like, what the fuck? And I was like, I thought, is she joking? So like I carried on, like, got my bag from the woman at till, thank you, isn't that skirt nice? Oh, well, lovely with this top. And I looked again and she just went, oh. I was literally there in like, see the thing is, when I go out in my wheelchair, I make more effort to look sassy, so that people think, oh, sassy, not, had my hoop earrings in, the bigger the hoop, had my leather skirt on, had a nice top on, I had this super sassy prostitute looking furry coat, red lipstick, all the works. Do prostitutes wear fur coats? I don't know. Anyway, they should, because it's probably really cold outside. But yeah, I was just like, I don't know why people do it, and it's just so patronising. All I'm doing is buying some clothes and some earrings. You don't need to patronise me with your or your bless. And I'm literally just like you, but sat down. That is it, but better than you, obviously. And I know that it's not meant with any malice. It's not nasty, but it's just unnecessary. There's just no need for it. Like, I was in Forever 21 and I bought my stuff, coming away from the till towards like out of the shop, and this bloke who worked there, who I actually thought was quite good looking before he started speaking, was like, oh, can I speak to you? I thought, this is it. He's going to ask me out on a date. I fancy him. He fancies me. This is perfect. Started talking about Jesus. Oh my God. Why? He was like, look, I just want to say to you. I was still waiting for, you're really fit. But no, he just came out with, I just want to say to you, Jesus loves you. Oh, for fuck's sake. Firstly, I don't believe in Jesus. And if Jesus was real and I did believe in him, he'd hate me. I sin all the time. I am a sinner. If heaven and hell were real, I would be going straight to hell. You know, it's fine. It's all okay. Jesus doesn't love me. And if he did love me, then he'd be going against everything he believed in, because I go against everything he believes in. So let's not go there. Anyway, this isn't about that, because, you know, you can believe what you want. But don't tell me Jesus loves me. You don't know me. Do not know the sort of person I am. Like, I could be the most horrible person in the world. I could have just killed 3 people, ran them over with my wheelchair. Thou shalt not kill. That's one sin. Out of the way. Done. You can't just assume that because someone's in a wheelchair that they're going to want to hear that. Like, it's the last thing I want to hear. And also, if Jesus was real, then his dad would never made me crippled, but that's a different story. Yeah, I think it's really rude and really disrespectful, actually, because he would not have said that to me if I wasn't in my wheelchair. I've never had that sort of response from anyone when I'm just going about my everyday life when I'm not in my wheelchair. I've never had anyone look at me and go, oh, I've never had anyone go, Jesus loves you. I just don't. I don't get it. He was like, you're a beautiful person inside and out. Okay, I'll take the out because, you know, I thought you were going to ask me on a date. But you don't know me. You can't be telling me I'm a beautiful person on the inside. Don't assume. Like, you can't just assume all disabled people are nice. Do you know what I mean? So I use my wheelchair part-time. And when I first started using it, I wouldn't get out of my chair when I wanted to get something off the top shelf. Because I was scared of what people would think. And actually, by doing that, I'm just perpetuating the myth that people in wheelchairs are confined to them. And, you know, a lot of people who use wheelchairs aren't able to stand up from them and get something off the top shelf. Luckily I am. When I say top shelf, it makes it sound like I'm looking for like porn magazines or something. It wasn't. It's just like shoes and shit. But yeah, I'm happy to get up and get stuff, to let people know that you can be in a wheelchair and be able to walk, and that it's an aid. You know, you don't see people never taking their glasses off in public, like, oh shit, if I take my glasses off, people are going to think I'm faking it. You don't see that. What was nice once, I was in a shop and I got out of the chair to sort of have a look around on the shelves, and there was a little boy who was about 4, and he was like looking at me, really cute, and he was like, why do you have that? I'm pointing at my wheelchair. And I was just thinking, please don't let his mum tell him off for that. And she smiled, like she was happy that he'd asked, and I thought, oh good. And I said, well, my legs are a bit poorly and I use this chair when my legs are hurting. It helps me get around quicker. And he just went, oh, okay. Do you want to see how fast I can run? Okay. And it was that simple. And then he did a little run up and down. I had to pretend I was impressed, and I was like, oh, I bet I could beat you in a race though in this wheelchair. And he was like, oh, shall we? And I was like, probably not the right time. But his mum allowed him to ask them questions, and she was saying, you know, he's very inquisitive, he likes asking questions. And I said to her, I'm really glad you allowed him to, because it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's not a taboo subject, and I like people asking questions, whether that's kids or adults or anyone. I think it's good when people ask, because it means that they're not just thinking, shit, I want to know something but I'm too scared to ask. And I think that's a good thing about kids. They don't have that idea in their head that it's a bad thing. They just ask and they get told the answers. So yeah, this has been a bit about blah blah blah. I can't speak. So yeah, this has been a bit all over the place, speaking about different things, but it was just to sort of talk about the misconceptions that I've had to deal with, and the ignorance of people. So hopefully it's helped. And I've realised I've been speaking for half an hour, so I'm going to try and edit it down a little bit, so that I'm not rambling quite so much. Also, I want to make more of these videos, but I want to make things that people are interested in. Obviously I'll talk about whatever I want, but if there are specific things that people want me to talk about, whether that's to do with my disability, my wheelchair, how my disability affects me, something completely not to do with my disability, just, I don't know, about me, chatting shit, anything you want, just let me know and I'll try and talk about stuff. Whether you've got questions you want me to answer, certain topics you want me to talk about, if you're interested, like you can like comment on this or tweet me, or I sound like one of those like YouTubey people now, but you know what I mean, just let me know, because I think a lot of the time people are scared to talk about and ask about disability, but I'm really open. I'd much rather you ask questions and me be able to educate you. Nothing can offend me. I'm literally, you can't offend me. So anything you want to ask, just ask me and I'll try to answer your questions.